Birmingham with Royal Homes Utah and Red Rock Real Estate Real Brokers. We're here with Chantry and Ashley from Guild Mortgage. We're gonna talk with them a little bit. I'm glad to be with you guys. So how about you guys tell us a little bit about Guild Mortgage?
Yeah, so Ashley and I have worked together for 8 or 9 years now. I've been in the mortgage business here in St. George for 15 years.
Okay.
Not quite all that at Guild, but about the last 7 or 8 years at Guild. The reason we picked to be a branch of Guild, and we've all worked together a really long time, is that what makes Guild unique is that we're our own entity. We service our loans. We process them, we underwrite them, we fund them, we record them, we report to borrowers credit reports, they make their payments to us. That was really big to us because it always felt really funny when you go to a lender, which is what most folks are, and then all of a sudden your loan ends up somewhere else. You lose the control, and we lose the ability to help them after the loan's closed.
Yeah, when you say go somewhere else, what do you mean by go somewhere else?
So a majority of all mortgages, a majority of most mortgage lenders, they fund the loan and then they don't have the ability to retain that mortgage and continue to service the loan and collect the payments. They're usually selling it off to one of the bigger banks. So a lot of times people are sold off to say at Wells Fargo, but they're like, oh, I didn't do my loan at Wells Fargo. Why am I at Wells Fargo now? Why is Wells Fargo collecting my payments and reporting me to credit? And most of the time it's fine, but it's when something goes wrong.
Okay.
So let's say you have an insurance issue or property taxes get messed up, or it's time to remove your principal mortgage insurance because you've got a loan of mortgage insurance. All those things, we couldn't help them. Now we get to help them long term, and our folks love it. So there's other reasons, but that's a really big one for us. Guild's actually been around since 1960.
Okay.
That was another really big one for us, is we wanted somebody that's been through it. We didn't want to be a fly-by-night that they're only taking advantage of the current market, but if things get tough or things change, they hadn't experienced it. But where Guild had been around since 1960, we felt really comfortable there. Guild is actually traded on the stock exchange now.
Okay.
What that does is it gives them an opportunity to raise capital whenever they need to, and it gives us some really unique loan programs that we can offer that other people can't, because we can raise capital for that. Like, for example, a bridge loan. Okay, so really that's us at Guild. We do most everything here locally though. There's about 25 of us. It's a huge company, but we try to make sure that it doesn't feel like you're working with a huge company.
Yeah. So you said that you've been working together about 7 to 8 years, 8 to 9, something like
8 years, yeah.
8 years. And so you've dealt with a lot of people, a lot of their loans. Has there ever been a time that you've saved someone with their loan or been able to salvage something from nothing?
Absolutely. Like just alone this year, just last Friday was it? We closed our 14th deal this year, saving them from another lender that denied them, or maybe just couldn't get the deal done for them. Maybe it was a program issue, and we were able to get them to the closing table. All of them either by that contracted deadline, maybe needed to extend a day just because we got it late, but we got it done on time.
That's good.
With happy borrowers.
And that's important, because sometimes when you're trying to help someone get a house, those deadlines are really critical for everything. So
Want to make sure we don't have an upset seller or an upset buyer.
Right.
Make sure we communicate and get that deal done, because we do have a unique thing, I feel like, with our underwriting team being able to get things pushed through quickly. We've got a great relationship with them.
Yeah. Speaking of communication, has there ever been a time when communication has gone wrong or just been really bad for some reason?
We try really hard not to let that happen. Something we do pride ourselves on is communicating. All of our referrals are word of mouth. We don't do a lot of advertising or anything like that to get somebody to come in. So we try our very best not to let that happen.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we even have some systems in place, one of which is called a Tuesday update.
Okay.
So our entire processing team basically carves out their whole day to update everyone involved in that transaction.
Okay.
Selling agent, buying agent, borrowers themselves. We still are notifying them when major things happen, an underwriting approval or an appraisal, but just so the folks can have a peace of mind to know on Tuesday, I'm at least gonna know good, bad, or indifferent, because that's usually when the communication goes wrong, was when it's like there just isn't any, or I can't get a hold of anybody. And Ashley and I don't work 9 to 5. We're not traditional bankers.
Right.
Majority of our time in the office is 9 to 5. If a borrower ever needs it though, they can have our cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are the high touch. We aren't, that's the reason to work with us, is that we're the high touch. We're able to get outside of the box and be a little creative on putting your loan together. We're willing to connect with you after hours if needed. We're separating ourselves from the online or big box lenders in that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So what's going on in today's market? We've seen a lot over the past few years with what's happened. Skyrocketing prices, changing in interest rates, drastic changes in interest rates. Could you tell us a little bit about what's happening right now?
Yeah, so unfortunately, interest rates have basically more than doubled since where they were 12 months ago. So we were at this crazy low of, let's call it 3% December 1st. Wake up today and we're more like at 6.5%. So that's the negative part to us in the mortgage right now.
Mm-hmm.
The positives are though, there's a lot of opportunity in the market because sellers are motivated. Sellers are willing to pay closing costs. They're willing to buy down interest rates. They're willing to take contingencies. Like, somebody had a house to sell 2 years ago.
Right.
It's like, too bad you're not getting a loan, you're not buying a home. The National Association of Realtors, not sure if you've seen it, they did a study and surveyed all the people that bought a home in the last 2 years. 70% of them said that they would kind of had buyer's remorse about that home. The reason that I believe they had buyer's remorse about that home is A, they probably paid more than a comfortable amount to finally get an offer accepted, and they probably had to offer on maybe 15 homes to actually get one to work.
Right.
So they ended up settling on a home they probably didn't want, on a price point they probably weren't interested in. So while they got a 3% mortgage, they didn't get the house they want.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 of our buyers they're not buying a mortgage, right? They're buying a home.
Yeah.
And so there's opportunity right now. You know what, rates are gonna go up and they're gonna go down, and they may end up going down, and if you buy a house now, you get an opportunity to refinance. So all the things are in the best interest of the buyer today that they weren't there even a year ago, except for rates are higher.
Yeah.
We believe with about a 95% certainty that within the next 6 to 18 months, rates are gonna go back down. And I don't want people to think that means you should sit on the sidelines to buy.
Right.
Because if you sit on the sidelines to buy, and rates are all of a sudden 4 or 5%, and you go, I want to get back in the game and buy a house, everyone else has done it. So now you're paying more, you're not getting seller credits, you're not getting closing costs paid for.
Right.
But if they buy now and they get all those things, then we simply can refinance them and save them some money.
Yeah.
So my fear is a lot of people are going to sit on the sidelines, and all of a sudden everyone's going to wake up all at the same time and flood back into the market, and it's going to feel like it did the last couple years again.
Yeah.
So the advice we give to somebody is, if it makes sense for you now, if you can afford what that payment is, we're locking you in worst case scenario. Now's a way better time to be a buyer. You're going to get the house you want. Get in now. Very likely you're going to end up getting a lower payment down the road.
Right. Yeah. Those are some good points there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like you're saying, loans that fit you with what you need to do and things like that.
Yeah.
So what are some do's and don'ts about getting a loan?
Definitely keep up on all your payments. Don't miss any payments. Don't open any new credit cards. Don't get a new auto loan or cosign on anything after starting the process, even just getting pre-approved.
Right.
The minute you talk with the lender, don't start changing anything up with credit unless you're paying things down, paying things off. You might also want to make sure and check with your lender that by paying those things off, it's not hurting you, because that does happen as well.
Yeah.
So we do help a lot with making sure what we're doing is gonna be beneficial to the buyer and not have a negative impact. And then definitely, just keep up on your payments. Make sure you don't change your job in the middle of all this. We've had that happen. It's fun. Those are just the main things. Just keep consistent on what you're doing and communicate if you want to make any changes, because it may not negatively impact you, but it's good for us to know, because little changes could change what you're pre-approved for.
Yeah. So don't go buy that fun new car, right?
Yeah, no.
So speaking of fun, what are some things here in St. George you guys like to do for fun?
I love to bowl. I'm on a bowling league every
Okay.
Thursday night.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Okay. What about you, Chantry?
I'm probably the traditional Southern Utah person. I love to golf.
Okay,
In fact, it's really probably the reason I moved here 19 years ago when I graduated high school. It's
Okay.
probably the reason I moved here, not just golf, but just the weather, outdoor
Yeah.
activities, camping. We do a lot of camping.
Uh-huh.
I love to take my 8-year-old golfing.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest thing for me is just enjoying the sunshine like everybody else.
well, good. Well, we're glad to be here, get to know you a little bit. Thanks for having us come talk to you.
Yeah.
And we hope that you all call Guild Mortgage if you need a loan.
Yeah, let us know how we can help you.
Thanks.
I'm Chantry Abbott with Guild Mortgage Branch Manager. This is Ashley Bauk. She's a loan officer here at Guild Mortgage. Ashley and I have been working together for about 8 years. We help people make a plan for buying or refinancing or building a home. Even if you're ready to do it in a year, we want to connect with you and help you make a plan. Give us a call, 435-674-1090, or we're just here on Riverside Drive and River Road. We're just local. Come stop by and see us.